nice tattoos on him. Oh, it's a fucking hot guy. Nice earrings too. Oh,
Oil keeps going up. Hedge against inflation and the downturn in the stock market. Get in on the next major oil boom now and help make an investment that can potentially pay you monthly income for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you are an SEC-accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. The U.S. government needs your investment in oil, and you are allowed to write off on your taxes nearly 100% of your investment this year. Goldman Sachs is projecting oil to go up to $150 a barrel. Call 1-800-544-1221. Encore Energy is a very active oil and gas operator in its core area of operations. Call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 1-800-544-1221. Encore Energy. That's 1-800-544-1221. SalemNow.com. He's become a hero in my estimation, Bobby Kennedy Jr. For decades he's been in the peripheral of my consciousness, to be honest, but I've known about him. And I thought he was a courageous man and paid no attention, to be honest. And now I pay a great deal of attention to him. He tells more truth in a day than the CDC does in a year. I can't believe this. There's a piece in the New York Times. We finally know the case against Trump, and it is strong. Well, I'll tell you, it is very, very helpful right now to see the people who have contempt for the country. And this is a smoking gun, just like the 2-year lie about Trump collusion with Russia. This is a really, really good test. If you think that this was a good thing for the country and judicially deserved to indict Donald Trump on essentially 34 counts of nothing, we haven't even been told what the underlying crime is, by a DA who has let people out who have then committed terrible crimes. Later in the show, I will try to find the story that I read yesterday, but I didn't save, which is my fault, about a judge who then just went randomly and stabbed a teenager to death. It was a gigantic rap sheet, and the judge simply let him go. Why that judge's name is not revealed, I want to reveal that judge's name. I'm going to try to find who it is. It is time for us to identify the people who are ruining the society and cause murder. That judge is an accessory to murder, as indeed Alvin Bragg has been an accessory to murder. Boy, that old ancient Jewish phrase, those who are cruel when they should be kind will be kind when they should be cruel. Or really, the first one, those who are cruel when they should be kind, or those who are kind when they should be cruel, will be cruel when they should be kind. That's exactly right. In the inverted moral world of the left. Well, clarity is our friend. I'm Dennis Prager, and I wish you a happy holy season, Passover and Easter. Passover tonight. We'll be back in a moment. 60 Minutes that could save life and limb. The Heart of Innovation. Hosted by Emmy Award-winning journalist and patient navigator Kim McNicholas and interventional cardiologist Dr. John Phillips. Discover new game-changing ideas and innovation shaping the new frontier of healthcare. Join the discussion with physicians, clinicians, policymakers, and most importantly, patients. Ask physicians your burning questions and get real-time guidance and support. The Heart of Innovation. Heard each Saturday at 11 a.m. Right here on 860 a.m. The Answer. Saturday at 1 p.m. Don't miss The Mentors. Remarkable CEOs who challenge your thinking about life and work.
Paul Hobbs grew up on a farm in upstate New York and had been accepted to medical school when mentors intervened and sent him in a new direction. I'm Dan Heston. Join me Saturday to learn how a young man from a teetotaling family became the Steve Jobs of wine, according to Forbes magazine.
The Mentors. Saturday at 1 p.m. on 860 a.m. The Answer. News, information, reassurance. 860 a.m. The Answer. Airbase San Francisco. Streaming now on smart speakers and the Odyssey app service of Salem Media Group.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Springtime storms are continuing. National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center's John Hart said there's a long line of severe weather stretching from lower Michigan all the way through Illinois, Ohio, Missouri, Tennessee, and down into parts of Texas.
Damaging winds are probably the main threat, but there will be of a few tornadoes along the entire extent of the line. And with that in mind, we have severe thunderstorm and tornado watches in place across that entire region.
Crews are now out surveying the damage from yesterday's tornadoes southeastern Missouri was hard hit. Also at townhall.com, former President Trump is blasting the judge and the district attorney involved in his 34-count indictment. White House correspondent Greg Cluxton reports.
Hours after being arrested and arraigned here in New York, Trump delivered a speech in front of supporters at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. He criticized the DA for pursuing what he called a ridiculous indictment, and he attacked both the judge and the judge's family, saying they hate him. The defiant Trump claimed there is no case and said he never thought anything like this could happen in America. The next court date is December 4th, and Trump will again be expected to appear. Greg Cluxton, New York.
Prosecutors asked the judge to set a trial in January, but Trump's legal team pushing for late winter or spring. Former teacher and union organizer Brandon Johnson has been elected Chicago mayor. Johnson is the Cook County commissioner who was endorsed by the Chicago Teachers Union. He defeated former Chicago school CEO Paul Ellis, who was backed by the police union. On Wall Street, stocks are now lower. The Dow is down 7 points. The NASDAQ off 183 and the S&P losing 25. More at townhall.com.
Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. Donald J. Trump was arrested. Donald Trump was arrested. Donald Trump was arrested. And Donald Trump was arrested. Pretty much the biggest news story right now. Yesterday, Trump wrote at 1:20, headed to Lower Manhattan, the courthouse. Seems so surreal. Wow, they are going to arrest me. Can't believe this is happening in America. MAGA. Remember, Donald Trump was one of the most beloved people, not only in America, but one of the most beloved people in New York City. New Yorkers loved the Donald. He won the Ellis Island Award in 1986 with Muhammad Ali and Rosa Parks. Everyone wanted to be around the Donald. The Clintons invited him to Chelsea's wedding. They sat down to do the guest list and they said, who do we need at Chelsea's wedding? Well, we need Donald Trump to be there. But now he's more evil than Hitler. The judge, over the criminal case, said he will not impose a gag order. But the judge said that if the former president doesn't stop inciting violence, then he'll have to reconsider. And you're like, what violence? The other day, he had a Truth Social post where on the right-hand side of the picture was the DA of Manhattan, and on the left side, Donald Trump was holding a baseball bat. The judge said, I don't want to see that anymore. This is from NBC News. In court, Trump showed no discernible emotion. He did, however, noticeably sigh when the judge warned he could be removed if he was disruptive. Trump sighed and said, I know. Now, this is why I think we need cameras in the courtroom. We don't right now, which means everything we know about what happened in the courtroom is filtered through the bias of the few media members who are allowed in. I don't trust their interpretation of anything. I don't trust their reporting of what actually happened. I also don't trust how they interpret things. Like, how did Trump say, I know? How did he sigh? I want to hear that. Those details matter. We should absolutely have cameras in the courtroom. They did not take a mugshot of Donald Trump because pretty much everyone, there's no need to identify him. The Democrats did not want there to be a mugshot because they knew Trump would make a ton of money off of it. This trial is a long way from over. The next court date is December 4th. This is going to go well past the 2024 election. So Trump won't only be the first president indicted for a crime, he'll be the first person to win the presidency while on trial for a crime. Bill's message of the day. Next.
The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped 20%, and this year could be worse. You are right to be worried. So please call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They'll show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I have been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOL.
Streaming at 860amtheanswer.com, our free mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and the Odyssey app. This is 860 AM, The Answer.
All of a sudden, I don't like being married to what is known as a new woman. I want a wife, not a competitor. Competitor.
Talk about it, this crying in the morning thing, it's depression, you know, let's get that fixed.
That's what men think, isn't it?
What?
Unless you've got the answer, unless you can say, oh, I know this bloke in year 6 already could fix that, then there's no point bothering.
How do you write women so well?
I think of a man, and I take away reason and accountability.
I love him, and I don't care what you think. I love him for the man he wants to be, and I love him for the man that he almost is. What do people have rows about?
Money, sex, money. He wants, she doesn't want.
She wants, he doesn't want.
Women have always been a big problem to me, Dr. Fussbend. Are you listening, Doctor?
Yes, go on.
Hello, everybody. Male-female hour every Wednesday, the second hour of the Dennis Prager Show. The most honest talk I know of about men and women in the American media. If there is more honest talk somewhere, I salute it. Simple as that. Because that's what we need, but people are not honest about male-female issues because people are intimidated by a whole host of groups from saying the truth and what is on their minds. That's a big problem. And the opposition comes from the left, comes from the right, comes from religious, comes from secular. People don't want to talk real about men and women in many, many instances. Today's subject, I don't believe I've ever actually addressed on the male-female hour. I'm not sure I've addressed it on any hour. Midlife crisis. So you could start calling in very shortly. Have you or your spouse experienced or are experiencing now a midlife crisis? And what happened? 1-800-777-243-777-776. My theory is that it is overwhelmingly a male issue. And that may be wrong, but I think anybody who uses the term midlife crisis, it has a man in mind. I don't mean a specific man, has men in mind. My theory on men's midlife crisis, which comes at around the age of 50, I guess, but it's a very elastic age, is man wakes up one day and says, this is it. This is what I have achieved. The odds are it's not going to get much more successful than it is now, my career. To a much larger extent than women, it is innate for men to define themselves more by their vocation than it is for women. Although feminism has tried to change that, and to a large extent it has been successful. Nevertheless, I don't think the midlife crisis has quite loomed as damaging and as ubiquitous among women as it is among men. So if you or your spouse have experienced a midlife crisis, I would very much like to hear from you. You will be doing a service to the listeners and to me. I want to know your experience. This is my living laboratory of humanity, my talk show, and this subject is one example of that. What do we sort of cartoonishly, but not inaccurately, identify as a man having a midlife crisis? That he gets himself a red Porsche, right? or what's the Chevy?